What's going on, guys? Good morning. Welcome back to Everyday Struggle. I'm Nadeska here with DJ Akademiks, Wayno, and Star.
Hey.
What up?
My brother.
Hey.
How you guys doing? How are your weekends?
Monday, productive.
Mine was
Productive? Cool.
Productive weekend, yeah.
All right.
I ain't doing anything. I cleaned my garage. That's it.
That doesn't
you
count?
have a garage?
I have a garage.
Fancy nigga.
Well, that's that Jersey life. All that New York told that nigga live in Jersey. You ain't living no goddamn high rise or
Clean out the garage.
goddamn Brooklyn
Go ahead,
project.
nigga.
Oh, man, I just chilling, man. My garage is out of hand. I had to get it together.
You got a patio too?
Nah, man.
They got an attic, a garage.
You too, like you don't live in
life,
Jersey.
man. Hey, well, listen, I love Jersey. I'm not gonna lie.
We know you love Jersey.
You gotta come on over.
Someday, we'll see. All right, so let's start with some good news this week. For once, Meek Mill, it's looking like his conviction might get overturned.
Yeah.
So the Philly DA's office is saying that they would not oppose him being released from prison on bail because they have doubts about his 2008 conviction. Now, according to a long, well-reported piece from Rolling Stone last week, it seems that Meek's 2008 conviction was secured thanks to false testimony from the arresting officer, Reginald Graham. They also detailed more alleged abuse from Judge Janice Brinkley, saying that she's committed acts unbefitting of her office dating back 15 years. Do you guys feel like Meek has a chance here? With all this evidence, it seems like this is the closest he's gotten to really getting out of prison.
Yes, he will be released. I've lived in Pennsylvania a lot of years, and the DA's office, the district attorney's office, they're not opposing the request from the defense to have him released. Pennsylvania is a Commonwealth state, like Virginia, Massachusetts, and a Commonwealth state represents the best interest of the people. And the motion was filed in the Common Pleas Court. So it is my belief that, yes, he will be released. I'm surprised, again, that this is a Commonwealth state and he's been on probation for over a decade. That's unheard of. This is a black judge. I hate to put race on the table, but this is a black judge who did this to a young black man. 10 years on probation, unheard of. Jay-Z and a host of other people are supporting Meek Mill. I'm supporting him, and I have to say, he's a nice fucking guy. Anybody here ever met him?
I've known him for shit since he was 16.
He's a genuine nice
very,
guy.
very good guy,
And
yeah.
even if he was, popping wheelies or whatever, just silly shit, 10 years of fucking probation.
On a charge that could have just
in
been
a
falsified.
Commonwealth state. I'm surprised that the judge has not been removed thus far,
Right.
stripped of her fucking power, and a very deeper investigation is going on. But yeah, he will be released. And I just want to say that after this gets chiseled down, hopefully his record will be expunged. And expunged, for those of young people who don't know, means that the record is wiped away of the charge.
Right.
It will be erased from his record.
Yeah, it's like, for all the holes that's in the case, it's crazy. It's like, it's too many holes, there's too many contradictions with the police, their statements, the cop that came out that recounted what happened and said that they were robbing drug dealers at this time and doing all types of malicious shit. It doesn't make any sense that he's still in this position. And it's like, if prison is supposed to be about rehabilitation, he's rehabilitated his life tremendously. Like, if he was working for FedEx, he wouldn't be having these type of problems. Right. If he was doing anything else, it's because he's a rapper. I think they're using that against him.
Yeah. I also have to say that his original legal team, I don't know who they were, but probation for that amount of time,
For a gun charge?
Yeah, just unheard of.
And at that time, a gun charge is a misdemeanor. It could be reduced to a misdemeanor. That was his first charge he caught. So he could have gotten a misdemeanor for it.
Unfortunately,
Well, I think the main thing that had him on probation that long, which obviously why everything's getting overturned, is that a cop testified that he pointed the gun at
Right.
a cop.
Right.
So yeah, you have a gun, but once you point at a cop, different story. Again, I sympathize with Meek, but it shows the bigger problem here, because along with the DA not opposing bail for Meek Mill, is the DA also, because they filed a motion that they admitted that, hey, because of these cops are motherfucking liars, there's gonna be hundreds of cases that those same cops who put other men, could be black men, Hispanic men, white men in jail, they're gonna get overturned as well. So they're anticipating
And rightfully so.
Meek's gonna get overturned. Philly seemingly has a huge problem with corrupt cops. If you've watched over the last couple of years, this is not the first time like the DA office or whoever just admitted like, yeah, we got a couple who sent a lot of people to jail. It happened 2 years ago, and then it happened 3 years before that. Right. So again, it feels like it's systematic. I don't know how we could address that. And as you said, it's a state for the people, but this is clearly. Not only should his record get expunged, he got to sue. I think all these men who has lost a lot of years, time, they have to sue. And just to see that certain cops who admit openly, like, yeah, we used to be robbing drugs, like the cops sound like the real criminals here.
Yeah.
And they've sent so many people away to jail, and we know the legal system definitely depends on the cops' testimony and all that. It just seems crazy. But I'm glad that it's at this point, and hopefully, from what I'm hearing, there's another motion for bail that there should be a hearing in the next week or two. Hopefully it'll be out.
I also know Commissioner Ross from Philadelphia personally. Good man. He's been on my show. He's bailed me out of some situations. I've been on some bullshit in Pennsylvania over the years. But I don't want to just dump on the whole police force of Philadelphia. Not saying that you are, but the judge. I'm looking at the judge. Why is she still there? Why does she have any power with regards to a guy being on probation who has done some great things for the community?
Right.
How difficult is it to remove a judge?
Well, it's a commonwealth, so there is a process. But if you are doing things that could be a violation of individual rights in a commonwealth state, you got to go.
She's also owns a lot of property. I read something saying that like even tenants have sued her. Like, so she's just, she's into a lot of bullshit. She's on that bullshit.
Well, easy now, because I've been a landlord over 25 years and people have sued me. Doesn't mean I was wrong.
They said
you were a slumlord.
But she said that, they said that like a child had caught like lead poisoning from one of the apartments.
Oh, shit happens with that.
Hey, well, the most telling thing with her though is that, especially within the last couple months, you as a judge, if you hire a attorney to sue someone who comes to your court at your mercy, where you could decide if he's going to spend years or months or not at all in jail, if you are suing that person for defamation, how could you unbiasedly deal with their case? And everyone has recommended that, hey, you should probably take yourself off the case. Now, if you're thinking about suing him, take yourself off the case.
Right.
And
Step
she's
down.
like, I ain't taking myself off this case. I'm staying right here.
Personal vendetta at this point. It feels like she has some
Allegedly,
sort of
be careful, because she's talking about suing niggas.
Right, she is.
Be careful.
Go ahead, my fault, go ahead.
If I can just fast forward, this might be what Meek needs for his music career. This will give him something to talk about other than the fucking rollie. I say that respectfully. But, sometimes you have to go through hard trials to establish the truth about certain things.
Yeah.
I think, that this may give him a lot more to talk about, because, again, he's done some great things in the Philadelphia area. I can attest to that. And, hopefully this will reflect his music when he does get finally released.
Yeah, and like Ak said, like a bigger victory for everyone else involved and not just for himself. But he did tell Rolling Stone that since he's been locked up, he hasn't even let his family come see him because he doesn't want it to feel like he's really in there. So hopefully he does get out soon.
Yeah.
All right, so on to Lil Xan, who previously decided that Tupac was boring, and apparently some kids aren't feeling this. So he was out at a show in California, and apparently a group of high school kids ran up on him and started to mob him. He allegedly ran to the YMCA, where a cop picked him up and took him to safety. But of course,
y'all stop laughing at Lil Xan.
he got on Instagram later to say that that's not exactly what happened. Let's take a look.
Saying I am a pussy for the police escorting me away from a group of 20 people that wanted to jump me. You can call me a pussy all you want, but I am not a gang-banging rapper. Am I supposed to act hard? Am I supposed to not fuck with the police because I'm a rapper? Oh, wait, I have to, huh? Because that's what cool rappers do, right? I gotta be cool to say fuck the police. That's cool, right? Yeah, there's certain cops. Fuck the police. There's a lot of good cops. And you know what? I didn't feel like taking on 20 people when I didn't have no security.
All right, I don't think anyone expected people to pull up on him for those Tupac comments, and especially not high school age kids, right? Wayno.
Why are y'all laughing at Lil Xan?
Yo, man, this shit is hilarious, yo.
What?
Because first of all, that video, he's smacked. He's fried. He's fucking fried. Like, can you hear him slurring his words, how he's talking? Then I find it hilarious that don't know high school kids give a fuck about Tupac that much. They just running down on him. And he was like...
You don't think so?
Maybe just those 20
man.
kids are super passionate about pop.
Hell no, yo.
Hey,
Come
keep
on,
in mind,
yo.
this is California, man. He's in
Come on,
California.
yo. high school kids running down on Lil Xan for
Bunch of
Tupac
16
comments.
He's a bunch of 16-year-olds. They were trying to catch that fade with that nigga.
Well, apparently they
He
said it
definitely
didn't
wanted
get
to fade.
physical, right? They were just
'cause he
verbally
ran.
aggressive.
As he should have. As he
He
should.
ran.
As he should.
He don't have security?
well, his fan base, and no diss to him.
Right.
Like it's like 13 years old.
You still should have some security, though. Nah, you should have some security. He has millions of fans. Like, you know, security is for prevention. It's not so nobody snatches your chain.
He's got a bunch of trolls, not necessarily fans. He's got trolls. And if I can just say, the beauty of the internet and social media is that young people today can educate themselves faster than 10 years ago, 20 years ago.
Right.
So the people that tried to run down on him, his former high school, alumni, whatever, they're educated on Tupac quickly. He's what? How old is he? 21, 22?
21.
22. I don't know Lil Xan's music. I don't want to know Lil Xan's music. I'm a man of a certain age. I still have nightmares today about doing coke in the 80s. So there's just some things in life I don't want to relive. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I can't appreciate where he's at in the realm of hip hop, but I don't want to know his catalog. I mean, he's got one popular song. What's it called?
Betrayed.
Betrayed. I heard it. I don't want to relive no shit like that, man. You know, I mean, being young is easy. You know, getting older, that's the trick. Getting older and feeling comfortable within who you are and being able to say, I don't want to relive certain shit. But yeah, so his trolls, not to be
fucking
confused
ran
with
down.
fans.
The thing is that he's
said,
not
"We gonna run
he's
down."
not the first young rapper or whatever to disrespect, someone that we
Right.
respect as a legend, but
Lil Xan is handling this all wrong. And I think for the newer rappers, most of them are handling stuff all wrong because they almost seem, it's like they're easy to be picked on.
Right.
Like you see him, he gets on a video, he says, yo, I'm not pussy because I call the cops because 16-year-old. And I'm like, yeah, you call the cops. I'm like, if you really wanted to make a statement, they're 16, you should have faded one of them. You feel me? I know.
Right,
Yes, I know.
right.
First of all, he's 21, but he do look
knock
like
one
13.
of them the fuck
You know what I mean?
out. Ah, fuck
Faded
that.
one of them. And I guarantee you all that, what you say about Tupac shit would stop, at least from those kids, okay? Listen, as you mentioned, OG Greedo.
They not running up on Greedo. They not
actually
running up on
invited
Greedo.
it. He says, I want all the smoke. Bring it. If y'all got a problem, he
Listen,
said, don't
man.
tell me online, tell me when you see me. So obviously he's being picked on. He's handling it in the worst way. Clearly,
I disagree. I think he's backpedaling as he should be, copping a plea, apologizing. Now let me move the fuck on.
No, he's playing. I don't want to say he's playing victim, but that's kind of forced him into a shell, and also it looks like he's taking a toll on his mental health. He deleted Instagram, Twitter for a while. I think it came back.
Really?
and
His mental health? Really?
He says, I'm not
fuck
mentally
outta
okay. And again,
He says, pray for me. Yeah, that's what he said, quote unquote, pray for me. Pray for my mental health.
Oh, man, fuck. They ran down on him. This shit is hilarious.
The new age of rappers, and I don't know if it's because of the drugs they're taking or maybe they just
Absolutely.
fucking emo because a
Chemically
lot of
imbalanced.
them, they're making these emotional type of songs, but they're quick to be depressed. Like you hurt their feelings, they're depressed. I'm serious. They're crying in their room.
This shit is crazy.
They're depressed, and honestly, I didn't talk to him, but people were saying to me, hey, listen, we talked to him, like, he doesn't seem well. He could do something to himself.
He's got a double
so
cup
bad.
in this fucking clip that we just played. A double cup.
got a
I can
double cup.
appreciate.
Self-medication.
I can appreciate young people like himself saying, listen, I don't want no smoke. Let me just make the music and move the fuck on.
Well,
Slim, hang on.
Right, go ahead.
Slim Jesus said, hey, I ain't about that life. I ain't about that life. I'm just here to have some fucking fun.
Right.
I can appreciate that. Everybody's not looking to pull out the fucking chopper and lay niggas down.
I'll say this. Toughen the fuck up. Toughen the fuck up, because if you feel like because you go through a situation you're gonna do fucking drugs, then you're gonna be doing drugs your whole fucking life. Because if this is the toughest shit that you've faced, Lil Xan, and you're at 21, you have no fucking idea for what's coming to you. Like,
I will say,
let's stop it.
He definitely needs some OGs around him. Yachty went through the same phase, except Yachty didn't just close up. Instead, the people around him said, listen, nah. Because what happens is, all right, even beyond this Tupac thing, if he survives it, and it complicates it that he looked like he's white, okay? Just let's call it spade a spade. So when you have someone who looks like they didn't grow up in this culture, come out and say something derogatory about Pac, you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? But again, with Yachty, like, his people made it a statement. That's why I think they were on edge. Even when Yachty came on, we like Joe, whatever, they're like, y'all won't pick on this kid. Yes, he doesn't know certain things. Yes, he is very young and he might not grew up on Tupac, but y'all not gonna pick on him at every. The kid's basically having a mental breakdown on Instagram. That's what I'm wondering about the people around.
But wait, there's the thing that's different here is that in the Yachty situation, we feel like it's an older crowd looking at him like you're being disrespectful.
Absolutely. Right.
Here it's high school kids.
High school kids.
It's hard
So
not
it is
to.
an older crowd. It's just the high school kids showed up for the fade.
That shit is so
So
hilarious.
you would have rather
yo.
seen Lil Xan.
There's so many littles, right? Like Little
You would have
Drain.
rather seen Lil Xan pull out the fucking Draco and say, fuck y'all niggas. Fuck y'all niggas and fuck Tupac. That's what you wanted to say.
No, not that. But for those kids there, like, if you're gonna try to explain that you're not pussy, catch the fade, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Don't
man.
call like, if you call the cops, you're throwing it up. Listen, I pay a lot of taxes, which I do pay a lot of taxes. If I call the cops, I'm letting y'all know I ain't want to smoke. Then I'm gonna have the
But you
cops
know
deal
what?
with it.
He's the size of a fucking high schooler himself. He's like 100 pounds
He's
himself.
the size of a 12-year-old girl.
Hold on. You can't have it both ways, right? So
Right.
that was a comment about him. He made a whole explanation video why he's not pussy, even though he called the cops. Now this Tupac thing, he's getting, Waka said get him out of hip hop. T.I. co-signs. Oh, everyone's just constantly getting at him. He needs to just be like, listen.
I'm sorry.
No. He's been apologizing. He should be like, listen, I apologized already.
Right.
Okay, maybe it needs to do on a bigger platform. But after I said I'm sorry, what the fuck more do y'all want from me? Just being honest,
You
right?
gotta just make a hit record, because a hit record stops all this shit.
That is a fact.
Like a hit record stops everything. So
That is a fact.
All right. Sorry, Lil Xan. Hope everything's okay.
You should have faded that 15-year-old man.
you're right.
All right, we gotta stop laughing for this next one. This is definitely a lot more serious.
Okay.
So Tekashi 6ix9ine has had a very interesting few days. He's been beefing with Game and Jay Prince Jr. So it started with the Game calling him out on stage in Europe, having the crowd chant "fuck 6ix9ine," and then Jay Prince Jr. was trying to find him in Austin. He didn't show up for his South by Southwest show. So let's look at all three of these videos. So the Game, Jay Prince Jr., and Tekashi responding.
Fuck that, what's 6ix9ine there? Hey, what's 6ix9ine there? Hey, what's 6ix9ine there? Y'all came to see 6ix9ine, huh? Where you at? Where you at? Y'all came to see 6ix9ine, huh? What the fuck is 6ix9ine there? Make some noise if you want to see 6ix9ine. Never bring your bitch ass out here then. Fake ass blood, fake ass blood, fake ass blood, fake ass blood. Fuck 6ix9ine, fuck 6ix9ine, fuck 6ix9ine, fuck 6ix9ine. Fake ass blood, fake ass blood, fake ass blood.
You know what's crazy? And there's mad fans at home not doing nothing. I put money on it. Anybody who dissed me never ever came to New York City, ever. I leave home, I leave New York City, I leave New York all the time. When y'all say, yo, Tekashi, you can't come to LA, I'm here, nigga, I came to LA. When y'all say you can't come to Texas, nigga, I come. I'm always on the West Coast, nigga, I come to Texas. Y'all see me on the internet, yo, Tekashi, this nigga, I pull up in Minnesota, nigga. I pull up in these places, bro. I got love for the people there. I love everyone in Texas, I love everyone in LA. These cloud chasers, yo, how many people dissed 6ix9ine in the past 5 months? Everybody, why? Because they know I'm the fucking hottest, blood.
All right, so Jay Prince Jr. is upset that Tekashi didn't check in Houston. Game feels like he's using the gang thing. He's not taking it seriously, that real lives are at stake here. Tekashi just feels like maybe everyone's using him for promo at the moment. What do you guys think?
I have to defend Bozo off the top, Tekashi. And hopefully he was working on his preparation for his GED this week, and that's why he couldn't, be where Jay Prince is
At
at.
a South by show.
Yeah. And Game, how sad is that to see a family man on stage taunting a younger guy who's popping? That was fucking sad. I'm defending Bozo. I'm sorry.
First off, how many Jay Princes are there?
Man.
Right? Like, how many of them? Is like,
Respect
I
to
think I
all
said the wrong
I've
name.
only
Yeah.
I've met one of them, but I didn't know it was so many of them.
Baby
you know
Jay
what I mean?
Prince,
Baby
Jay
Jay
Prince
But
Jr.
I said it before, I say it again. He's walking a very, very thin line. Now, I understand what you're saying about Game being a family man and all that, but the streets is the streets. That shit has no age limit because it's teenagers that kill when it comes to the street shit. And when it comes to being blood or Crip, in LA, that's their way of life, that's their religion, that's their everything. So this is just what they've been feeling since the first time they saw him. I think Game and all them, this is what they've been feeling since the first time they saw him. It's beyond rap. It's like a game show. Who could catch 6ix9ine first? Right? Like it's like everybody's trying to catch him. Everybody's trying to put their bid in for him.
And Bozo is outmaneuvering everybody. He's going to their cities.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't promote any form of gang activity. I don't want to, be involved in that. I'm a man of a certain age. But even when I was doing terrestrial radio, I was very cautious not to make it seem that I'm promoting violence.
Right.
You know.
I mean, at this point, I just feel like this. It's like, I always felt like with 6ix9ine, his fan base is not gangsters. His fan base is young kids. And I think he would be so much of a bigger artist if he wasn't challenging everybody. The reason why this shit is happening is because he keeps challenging everybody. Nobody gonna touch me. Nobody gonna do shit. Nobody has, but eventually they gonna try to catch him. You know what I mean?
I believe this is a new wave of hip hop though. Like fans, even though they're not gangster, like I've seen his fan base, they're fucking crowd surfing.
Right.
You're not jumping with a bunch of gangsters.
No, you can't crowd surf, right?
Well, if he's not worried about safety, is he worried about his money now? Like missing that South by, he was headlining the World Star Showcase and didn't show up.
Well, at least not for now. I know he just signed like some wild ass multi-million-dollar touring deal, which maybe the people who signed him are worried about it. But he seems to be fine. He's having a Slim Jesus moment, okay, where everyone's kind of looking at him like the jig is up. You're not who you say you are. Just come clean and say you're not who you say you are, and you could go ahead and kind of get phased out. The only difference here is that you should be well familiar with the people who back him.
Yeah.
They're not on the Slim Jesus shit.
No.
So because of that, that's where we're having this little conflict here. In terms of because again, he looks, you call him Bozo. He looks like someone would be like, this can't be a gangster, right?
Right.
So he's having that moment. That's why I believe a lot of people like LA gangsters won't like embrace him. But he does write a lot of checks with his mouth that his ass can't cash.
And that's
For example, the Houston shit. Man, again, I need a real gangster to tell me what this check-in process is. We do it online.
It's not odd.
Because what Jay Prince Jr. said it was, or didn't say it was a check-in, he said, listen, we're supposed to link, whatever. You made it a point to not link when we were supposed to, and then you wanted to come party with us.
Not for one second do you get it misunderstood that you can get away with the disrespect in my city the way you've shown in others. We won't tolerate it. Make your next move your best move.
And on the video, you hear them say, you're not gonna not fuck with us in public, but then come party with us at night, right? So they got put out the club, and this is where, and I always tell them, anytime I talk to them, I tell them, I'm like, yo, you gotta stop hyping the situation up.
Yeah.
In terms of, okay, y'all got put out the club and I get the ego because now people are whatever. Don't get on Instagram and then kind of hype it up by saying, yo, I'm still in here in Texas. The whole Texas love me, blah, blah, blah. Because you know what happened? The Prince family is now saying, what?
Yeah, but see,
we're going to the show.
The whole check-in shit is like this, right? Checking in is not making you any less of a man. This is what my process is. Like when I go to LA, it's certain people I call when I get to LA because I want to go certain places. Like in LA, you can't just go everywhere without knowing where your ass is going. That could be detrimental to you. So you build relationships with people in the music industry or whatever industry you in to just say, yo, I'm here. I might need a ride. I do that with Nipsey people. You know what I mean? Like I go see them, see how they doing, whatever I need from them, they can help me out with.
Are you gang related?
I was at one point in time in my life, but that's not who I am in this business. I'm an entrepreneur.
It's part of checking in extortion because that's it. They quoted
See, now here's the thing. Like I said, with this gang shit, you playing around with a certain level of respect or disrespect. It's a thin line. Now, the Bloods in New York, a lot of them don't answer to Bloods in LA. Because the Bloods in New York didn't start the way the Bloods in LA started. It started in prison and spilled into the streets. It didn't start as a neighborhood thing. Now, you're still emulating what they built. regardless. So you have people that's gonna look at that like, that's our shit. Like, why is he doing it like that?
I respect everything you're saying,
Right.
but isn't Tekashi studying for his GED this week? Maybe that's why he didn't go to Houston. Don't you talk to him?
Yeah, he is studying.
He's studying for the GED. I ain't got time to go to Houston.
Nah, man.
If I don't
Prince
pass
was in
this
Houston.
fucking test.
Jay Prince showed up to that well, at least in Austin, with 50 people. And when a nigga got that much power to show up to your concert with 50 people, I heard the bouncers were shook. Imagine the bouncers, the cops.
I hear you, but isn't Tekashi
Yes,
studying for the GED?
But
Maybe he just didn't have time to go to the fucking concert.
You don't
If he
believe
di-
that for a
I
second,
think-
right?
Well, no, hang on.
that he was really
If
studying that right
he
now?
doesn't pass the test, there's a good chance he could go to jail.
He does not seem focused on this, right?
I've got a
he's still
younger
booking
brother.
shows.
I've got a younger brother, Buck Wild. He's in the program right now studying for his GED. So this is personal to me. If he doesn't get that fucking GED, he's going to the penitentiary. I was on the phone with him last week for a half an hour trying to help him. So I mean, I'm just assuming that he's studying for the GED, and it's not that fucking serious with Jay Prince. You were saying?
I think it goes two ways. I think it's one way is people want to get next to him just to say that they made him like, yeah, we made him, conform a certain way.
Yeah.
And then I think for him, he doesn't know. It's like friend or foe. It's like, now I'm not about to, like, self-preservation, that's just natural life. It's like, you're not gonna go nowhere where you have to second guess if a person's gonna do some shit to you or not. And I think that's why he's not showing up to places, because I'm gonna keep it 100, like, you're not stupid for that. Like,
That's the first place he did show up to, but with good reason.
yeah, but
He
absolutely.
said the promoter called him saying, hey, listen, they got 50 niggas on stage and we can't get them off. Come at your
You
own
might
pace.
not want to show up, because that's the thing. I mean, the whole fact of the matter is that kid need to worry about being a musician more than a gangster.
Yeah, like Star is saying, if he doesn't get this GED, he's in trouble.
going to jail.
Right, but also he's losing money, he's losing looks, like having to miss his shows because of this. So hopefully something changes, but...
Yeah, there has to be a fine line of how he deals with shit. I was talking to his people just yesterday, and I was saying, hey, listen, just look at how both LA issues played out over All-Star Weekend. Cardi B had issues, and Ya had issues. Except Ya were being chased around, and Cardi B was at every event, popping out and doing her thing, right? It's all about, y'all have to move a little bit different. Hopefully they take some heed, because they have said they only missed like 2 checks in terms of shows, and they still got the deposit, just not the back end. But that shit will add up.
They can get sued for that though.
Well, I
If you
mean,
don't show up they can sue you for not showing up.
the South by Southwest one was
Well, probably not that one, yeah. Probably not that one.
You can't sue me if you can't secure the
Right,
venue.
yeah.
Right? But yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Right now, they're saying it's not affecting their pockets. But again, if you just sign a multi-million-dollar touring deal and you're not touring no places where people can't get to, right? You're not doing like the Staples Center.
Right.
So if you can't go to LA, which is a huge market, admittedly he said LA is the second biggest market other than New York. If you can't go to LA, and if you killed it, the whole Texas,
Right.
it's gonna be the same thing when you go to other cities, Detroit, Chicago. They're gonna look at you like this to say, we're gonna make sure you're on your tippy toes around here, because we're not gonna get done like LA.
Yeah, but it's the energy. It's just like when you put that energy, I said it before, like if you're a basketball player, people want to challenge that. If you're a boxer, people want to challenge you. If you screaming, nobody gonna do shit, it's somebody that's gonna say, I'ma do it. And it's just, like I said, he needs to focus on being a musician. He got a project out that's doing very well. 3 Billboard hits, like in the top 40? I could be wrong. But he's having a good career as a musician, and all of this shit is just getting in the way of that. And it's gonna continue to get in the way unless he figures out what his direction is gonna be as an artist and as a man.
Yeah, as I told him yesterday, I was like, the difference between you and most people, you're on the billboards, and most of these guys you're arguing with, like, all they got is like 20,000 followers on Instagram and like a SoundCloud link. You argue with those guys, they have all the time in the world to chase you down. You get me? Like, if you're gonna be on the charts and enjoy your success. Like, what's up with all this testing?
I think every time he misses a show, the same conversation is going to be happening. So-and-so ran him out of town, he was scared, yada, yada, yada. Right. I think it's just the reality of him being as popular as he is. Do you know the date that he takes the test? I mean, I'm really concerned about the guy taking the test.
No, that's good though. That's a positive.
Sometime this week, supposedly.
Can you find out and keep us up to speed?
Of course.
I'm wishing him well and that he passes that fucking test. Positive spin here. Positive spin.
Yeah. From what I hear, the next 2 weeks will all be about GD.
Can you put that on Instagram Live?
Yeah.
Him studying for the test. Some positivity in the community.
me.
I got to go back to the program and try and help Buck with his fucking test.
From what I hear, there's a song coming out called GD.
Of course there is.
All right,
Naturally.
man.
All right, yo.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking.
I can't unsee it for today. One of Gucci's clones having fun at a party. Let's take a look.
Man, how does Gucci clone get out of the goddamn
He let him
federal
free.
program? Yeah, man, I thought they were exterminating all the clones, man. They just let one out. How the fuck he get out, man? And I ain't gonna lie, they gave this nigga a hint of zestiness, but it took me a long while watching it. I was like, is this... I seen Waka comment on it. It was a funny clip. Apparently, and salute to the dude. He's having fun with his life,
Do
obviously.
we know his name? The guy?
Oh, someone sent me his Instagram name, but
We'll know about it. We'll know it after the show come out.
I think this is funny as shit. I like this. You know, for years, people would imitate Michael Jackson and Elvis Presley, Times Square, Las Vegas, and places like that. I hope somebody puts together some type of show with rappers, look-alike rappers.
But was dude
Does
really
that sound
a
crazy?
lookalike? Was he a lookalike or was he?
This side profile, he looked like Gucci, right?
yeah,
At least.
it's just like he happened to look like him. It's not like he was even trying to look like him.
Oh man, but shouts out to "Wipe Me Down." That song is still lit. Like, "Wipe Me Down" is still a joint.
It's that "Wipe Me Down," man. And then he was dancing to that 2 Chainz song. It was a "It's Your Birthday" joint. I ain't gonna lie, a hint of zestiness, but
Zesty this.
let him rock.
Let him rock. He's
There's a
having
girl
fun.
there's a girl who looks like Rihanna. She's been making money off of different appearances and things like that with relation to Rihanna.
There's
Like a good check.
there's a girl that looks like Quavo who has been taking no seriously. Seriously.
She's making money?
Yeah, taking pictures.
Capitalism.
Looks just I
a
see it on
beautiful
Instagram.
thing.
How about the picture of Chief Keef that everybody thought was a girl, but actually was Chief Keef? Did you see that one?
Yeah,
Right.
no. There's a girl who looks just like Chief Keef. Her name is Chief Keisha. Lit. Super lit. Seriously.
This is
I
crazy.
posted her a couple times on my Instagram. Super
Okay.
lit.
Well,
Nice.
People tell me I look like Wood Harris, so I might as well start doing some meet and greets and in stores based on that. You know what I
Michael
mean?
Black
See,
look like
there you go.
Cameron,
Fuck
man.
it.
Yeah,
Like, throwing a mink coat into.
Right, I get everybody. Cameron still got hair, you know what I mean? My line is going, so I don't know if I can pull that one off.
You got the hat.
Yeah, keep your hat on and get that check.
Now sometimes you don't like that.
I used to impersonate the guy who made the song Mambo No. 5. What's his name?
Lou Bega?
What's it? Lou Bega, yeah.
Yo, that's crazy.
That guy's still getting paid though, right? I heard. Yeah, that song
I
was in a
smashed 2
commercial a
girls
couple years ago.
impersonating. Real talk. Real talk.
All right, Ak, you want to take us through some numbers, projections? XXXTentacion making a #1 debut.
Yeah, he definitely showed up for his album. His album, I think I'm gonna just call it Questions. Well, I don't know if it's question mark or questions. I'm calling it Questions.
You don't know, I don't know.
It's currently on pace, and this is projections after the first day of sales and pre-orders, to sell 125,000 the first week. If you don't know, his last album sold 87,000 first week, so this is definitely a step up. He's now in a major. He's been backed by Capitol. I think this is pretty dope numbers for him. He doesn't do press. He's just traditionally, in, like 2005, you would think this guy would flop. Doesn't do press, barely shoots videos. Some of his songs are just all over the place, and at least this time around he made some songs that you could play on the radio, but even the very popular song, Sad, it has no second verse. The second verse is all instrumental, which again, a radio, a label would be like, this is not good for radio. Just like songs without hooks, they would be like, we're not saying this is shit to radio, but it's working for him. Loyal fan base, and if you look on the iTunes list or the Apple Music list, like his songs are all throughout it. The Weeknd co-signed him, someone who he told me when we had our 3-hour conversation he would love to work
that.
with.
Yeah.
And looks like, just like last time, Kendrick co-signed his music. So
Right.
his music is getting co-signed, so congratulations to him. But he's the only big hip-hop debut this week.
Yeah.
I would say that's a very good showing so far. We're still in the first quarter. The first quarter ends March 31st or something to that effect.
yeah.
typically it's not a good time to release a project. There's no video for Sad, as you just said. Did he perform at Southwest? Was he there?
Now he's currently on house arrest.
Okay.
He did one performance, and that was
Exactly,
Friday.
exactly. And you know, an independent artist, well, he's with Capitol now, needs to perform at South by Southwest, but there's no video, and we're in the tail end of the first quarter. And how many units thus far, or streams, downloads combined?
Well, it's on pace for 125 the first week.
Okay.
Isn't he doing?
That's a very good number.
He's about to have something. I think he did a show like Yes Jules or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, he just did
he's
that
on
one,
house
right?
arrest. He was allowed to do one show in Florida, his home state. That was Friday. I believe the proceeds went to the victims of the tragedy, the school shooting that happened down there, and it looked ridiculous.
He reminds me a bit of Tech Nine, and what I mean about that is like him having a cult-like following. His music isn't made for radio, right? And the kids that's listening to him are not turning on the radio to figure out what's dope. So it's like, that's why I think he's able to get away with, I wouldn't say get away with, he's a very musical person, so he's able to put out what he feels. Like, all of his music is what he feels. And all of these kids is just gravitating towards it. He's only gonna keep going up. Like, he's only gonna keep going up.
He had a conversation with my man Adam, No Jumper, and Adam said some dope shit, which is so true. He's one of the only artists who came out with a lead song, which was Look at Me, like very hyped and kind of ignorant a little bit. But the direction he took from the song that worked, that got him popped off, has been a hard left.
Yeah.
It's not, usually people try to recreate the first thing that you love them for.
Right.
He's went the opposite way. He's done country, he's done heavy metal, R&B, he's rapping with Joey Badass, so, and his fans love him. That's why the cult following is more than
He
music,
just does
so.
what he feels mostly. It feels like he just does what he
Why
feels.
so few videos from him?
Honestly, I think that's just part of his character.
I think
know.
that's a strategy for you to engage more with the music, because if you can only if you can only hear it one place, then you have to go stream it. It's like if you have, I mean, they combine like the YouTube stuff with everything else now, right?
Right.
But it's like, if you can only get it from one place, then you have to listen to the project. Like, you can't say, okay, I'm gonna watch the video as opposed to listening to the whole album. Like, you gotta go.
You know this to be true. You're
I'm just
assuming.
I'm assuming that that's why he does it, because you have to get it from a certain place.
You speak to him. He's never said to you why he doesn't do videos?
Well, I know it, just in everything he puts out, he tries to be limited. And in the age of, like, you know, where it'd be like your mystique.
Right.
He goes out of his way to try to keep that mystique. On Instagram, he posts maybe one picture you'll see on his profile, or maybe none. He uses his story, and it's usually a bunch of captions. He doesn't show his face too much. Right. And he tries to capture the audience through the message more than just like visually. Right. And visually, at least what he's told me, he wants it to stand or represent something.
So he's learned from Prince the old formula that less is more.
Yeah, of course.
Nothing wrong with that.
But he does make sure he puts up videos throwing them hands so they don't run up on him. Yeah. He always doing slap boxing videos with his homies and shit.
That's how he came up before he got
fighting
famous.
And all that, yeah.
Yeah, he used to be on the internet fighting everybody, anywhere. So it's a dope thing for him. One thing I will say though, I think an artist like him, I don't even know if he needed a label. I don't even know if you think about what a label does for you.
Right.
Did he really need a label?
Probably didn't, but he wanted that damn check, and that's the thing about it. Sometimes you might not want the label, but you want that bread.
Or the assistance.
The assistance, but that bread is great assistance, because then he can roll that, like, if he has the right type of business going on, he could take that money and roll it into paying a lot of his homies and strengthening his company and reinvesting it
But
into
according
himself.
to what he told me, he said Empire, because he was distributing through Empire. He said Empire cut him a pretty nice check. Now, not the same check as the manager did. And actually, I'll answer my own question. He's going and facing a legal battle, which clearly, you know, a label could definitely help you with a couple things. So, I do believe that's why he's on.
Right.
I would beg to differ. Label stepping in and helping what type of legal battle?
He has a domestic violence.
You think Capitol's going to step in with regards to that? I don't think so.
Well, they got slammed after they signed him, but they've been very instrumental in trying to help his legal process.
With the domestic charge?
Yeah.
You know this to be true?
Absolutely. They're the first one with the updates from his court. They have people there.
I don't think the Capitol would spend a dime with regards to a domestic violence case, the same way Epic Records turned their back on fuck's his name from Brooklyn? I can't forget his name.
Again, not that they're saying, oh,
Bobby Schmurder. Bobby Schmurder.
not that they're standing saying, hey, we don't care about domestic violence, but that's a $7 million investment. Just like with NBA YoungBoy, he just beat his girlfriend and he was accused of doing
So
shootouts.
you said Capital is stepping in financially?
Yeah, they're supporting the kid financially, yeah.
Well, I mean, them signing him to such a
I
big
can't see
deal.
that.
I mean, them signing him to such a big deal, those
Yeah,
monies
the
that
lawyers
he's
and all
taking,
that, yeah, they're very
I'm
involved.
talking about spending money.
their money, you mean specifically?
In a legal case. I don't think so.
Well, they if he goes to jail, they're fucked.
There's too many clauses and stipulations that will prevent a corporation from stepping in with regards to a domestic dispute. I don't believe that.
I have three.
I
other
don't
cases.
believe that, and I don't believe you. I'm sorry.
Well,
It's a debate. We're just debating.
You don't have to debate. You have to believe me. But they did what Atlantic was in court with Kodak, giving statements to say all that shit he did, we'll make sure he doesn't do it again. So again, we've seen that happen before, and I'm telling you, it's happening.
Making statements versus spending money is two different things. You can make a statement, sure, but spending money.
Well, they were spending
no.
money with Kodak as well too. They were paying for someone to be around him that he would never get caught up with the cops again like that, which he still did.
Well, an artist being supported legally is all relative to how much they believe in the artist. Because I've seen labels support attempted murders. You know what I mean? All types of stuff.
We'll loan you some money.
Yeah.
Or are we going to pay a legal fee with regards to any type of violent situation? No.
Well, loaning the money and so you're saying paying it directly or indirectly?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're giving the money anyway. You're giving the money.
No, they'll pay, depending on like.
Two different things.
I mean, a gun charge is a violent crime. So, like, I mean, it's not an act, but labels have paid to get people off of gun charges before.
Let's be honest. Sony evaluated what was happening with Bobby Schmurder, and I guess for them at that point, they didn't want to because
That's
I
a
think
big case.
yeah, and of course
yeah,
it was a
that
big case too.
case.
They probably say, you know what, our hands are tied. And you heard from Epic and especially even Sean Money, he said, listen, it's not us. Sony, which is the parent company, they made the call like,
Hell
yo, we're
yeah.
not doing that.
Epic, Sony, Capital, they have shareholders, and they have clauses in the contracts based upon moral turpitude. I ain't spending no fucking money on no goddamn legal fees. Again, we'll loan you the money. Handle your business.
I think to your point, it's just the words, right? It's the same money. It's just like
Language.
we're saying it in a different way.
Contract language.
Loopholes, always. All right, to grade the bars today is G Herbo. We have a freestyle from he stopped by Dallas radio station K104. Let's take a look.
Who you think you ahead of? Not us. In the answer to Porsche Carrera or something. Fuck twins like Gia Tamara or something. That boy getting bread Panera or something. Landing in GT Lair or something. Put Boston in the air or something. Marry her, she having affairs, I'ma spin that hoe like fairs, Born in the shot like gay, but a do crime like Bum J, I ain't scared of none. Passport stamp, young nigga ran up that sack, might as well go to Paris, Whooping that whack, you embarrassed, Pussy, you act like you scared of something. I wanna shoot up the terrorists. Then they gon' realize it's serious. I ain't even on that Paris. I'm making millions.
All right, what do you guys think?
I'm giving Swerve a straight A. The reason why is I've loved the drill movement, but one thing we usually say about the drill movement is that most of them niggas, they can't really rap. They come with the energy. Like their rapping skills isn't really up to par. Him, he's dropped, in my opinion, a classic mixtape, Ballin' Like I'm Kobe. He's always showed his rapping skills and storytelling skills. Right. And I know some people that might expect a little bit more lyricism, but I think his flow has always been dope, on point. He's always saying some shit. And this is just another example of, yeah, he could show up to a radio station and handle his business well. So I really like this.
Yeah, Herbo is one of the more polished artists lyrically out of the whole drill movement. I actually got flack for posting this. Like, some people was like, yo, you call this a freestyle and this, that, and the third. But the thing is that he was able to ride the, what I liked about it is this, when people go to the radio, they always think like, you have to rap one way, like you have to super bar it out. I like the fact that he was able to bounce on the beat. He was able to switch it up. That's what made it so dope. I want to hear the whole shit. Everybody's like, yo, where's the rest of the freestyle? You know?
As you said, he was bouncing on the beat.
Right.
You know, I can appreciate that. I'm not up to speed on him. Usually I keep my eye on all the little Chirac savages, and I'm just not up to speed. His name used to be Lil Herb, didn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's what made me say, I'll get back to him.
Just Herb, the word
just
Herb.
You know,
Yeah.
just that's just on some New York tri-state.
Right.
Herb. But he's bouncing on the beat. I'll just give him a B at this point because I don't know the rest of his flow. I'm not ashamed to say certain things I just haven't really just checked out fully and thoroughly.
He had no phone in his hand. Yeah, no
B
phone in his
plus,
hand.
B plus.
No, B
Fuck
plus.
it, B plus. No phone in their hand.
No phone in his
Jericho's
hand.
cold out here. He just recently he caught a gun charge, was sitting down for a little while. He
There you
got back
go.
out.
There you go.
And he's back on his grind. So I'm glad to see him moving, little Dirk moving.
Yeah.
They've found their own independent pocket where, yeah, they don't have to ride the wave of drill music anymore. But some of these guys could rap it or at least create some good songs.
You know what? Fuck it. He's got a gun charge?
Yeah.
Got a gun charge?
Yeah.
He just
And
caught
hey,
it.
I didn't know what direction you were gonna go there.
that's my nigga. That's my nigga right there. Yeah.
They go on the trigger.
Yeah, Rondo number 9 used to be my nigga. People know that back in the day. Give this nigga, hey man, fuck it.
I'm glad I ain't saying man. They would have me on Instagram today like, look what he said. I'm glad I ain't. Swervo, hold your hand, my man.
That's my nigga
Yeah.
right there, man.
Fuck with him. And
Fuck
he has
it.
is that a money do-rag? I'm giving him an A+. If that's a money do-rag, I'm giving him an A+.
Is it? Oh shit.
Right.
Swervo.
The intangibles, man. Like, that's why I try to tell you, you gotta have the intangibles when you go up there. It can't just be the bars. You gotta have the theatrics with it a bit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
All right, so our last topic today, according to TMZ, Drake was spotted out in Wyoming, near to that mountain where Kanye is recording his new album. Now, remember, these two were allegedly supposed to do a joint album together, and then Kanye got on stage and kind of called out Drake for chasing hits, and it seems like they've had some tension since then. But according to TMZ, Drake brought an engineer, a songwriter, and a photographer with him. You speculate they might be making some music together. Are you guys excited? Do you care?
So excited. So
That question was
fucking
definitely for you.
excited. Yeah. You go first. I'm choked up. You guys go
Overwhelmed.
I don't really care because I'm gonna just keep it 100. I didn't know that they still had problems. I thought it was dead. Like, you know, Kanye went on a rant. He said this shit about Hove holding up the song for pop style or whatever the case may be. But I thought that was done when he was on More Life. Right? I thought it was done. I didn't know it was still something there. Where is Kanye? Is he actually recording in the mountain? Like,
Inside
where's
of
the
the
studio
mountain.
at?
There's a
Like,
cave in there. That's what I heard.
Yeah, let's go.
Drake is sensitive nigga. Like Kendrick said one thing, like and name dropped him on Control, and that
Right.
nigga Drake held it up for a while.
Yeah,
They used to make songs together. So once Drake mentioned that, yo, man, I thought Kanye was my man, and that nigga on stage talking about I'm just clout chasing and just making on top of hits and polluting the radio with all these records.
Right.
So I thought that they were gonna keep their distance, but clearly the fans loved them working together.
Right.
They had announced that they were gonna do a joint album at one point, which
I don't want that.
you don't want that? Nah, I do want that. That I actually do want. I do want a Jay-Z diss from them. They ain't gonna sit on fuck
What?
Jay-Z.
Yeah, right.
They ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, right.
Nice subliminal. Drake got some more bars of title. I heard Drake just signed back with Apple for another bag. Okay, I think he got some more bars of title, man. So if you gonna come with some jabs at Jay, link up with your man Ye while he's a little disgruntled.
Are Drizzy and Jay still at it?
Well, he shouted out Jay on a couple last couple records, but
Sucker
I mean,
shit. That was just sucker shit. But are they still,
well,
Aren't they the same
against
that they've
each other,
always
so to
been?
speak?
well,
Cool
I mean, I
competing.
would think so, but
You know all the Drake details. I'm just asking.
well, Drake shouted out Jay on like the last couple like records, so I gotta imagine they cool. You know what I
I'm
mean?
not excited, but I'm anticipating the collaboration between Drake and Kanye.
Well, I heard that trap because I seen Kylie up in the mountains too. And if Kylie's there, Travis Scott is there. And they're all up there playing Fortnite. Now, other than the Fortnite game, I want to see what record they'll come up with. Drake, Travis, and Kanye in one location. And Cudi supposedly is there too. I could only imagine good things are going to come.
Or we won't hear any of this shit. Right? Like,
Also,
you're gonna hear
also
it. You're gonna hear
possible.
We're going to hear.
You
right. But I mean, the
Drake
thing.
ain't traveling no fuck. They said Drake brought a team of writers and a team of producers and photographers.
Did they say he brought a team of writers? Or
That's
did
what
you
TMZ said. They said
Well,
songwriters.
TMZ, right? TMZ again, right?
I'm gonna believe TMZ on this.
You believe?
on
By
this
the way-
one. On this one.
By the way, I got that little pump contract, yo. I did.
Do you?
What?
Yeah. And
I'll spill it.
And it was contrary to what he was saying. They were actually right on what they were saying in terms of how they worded it.
That TMZ was correct?
Yeah, it did say 7 years, unless that was a different version of the contract. But that shit definitely said 8 years, 8 million, and it said 7 years with a bonus paid out at the beginning of each year. Now, maybe that's not the official
Final contract.
final contract, but that contract that they quoted for their article, I have in black and white.
Was it signed
Yes.
by Lil Pump?
No, not by Lil Pump. because he's a minor, by his guardians, both of them.
Okay.
So I seen it.
Who's his
You want to post it on your
TMZ
IG
with
page?
facts.
No, I won't post it. It's
Why not?
And also, like,
Why not?
who really cares but me?
It's about you.
No, who really cares but me? On
Oh, you said
facts?
but you. I thought you said who cares about me. I'm about to say what?
No,
Did you agree not to post it? Did you agree not to post it?
No, I could post it, and actually, I'll probably do a follow-up video on it. But like, if you just post it on IG, like niggas on IG be so stupid. Like, Lil Pump say he got signed for 50 million, they believe it. So you need someone to explain what they're saying, and there's some legal
He
terminology.
is spending that fucking bread because I seen him put up a video talking about he's spending 10 bands a day since he signed that deal. Remember I said I wanted to see what he buys with this shit.
10 bands a day, man.
10 bands a day.
He can still get out of the
Keep the
deal.
IRS close.
He can still get out of the deal. He can say, you know what, I'm 17, fuck it, I changed my mind. You beat on the 8 million.
Well, the deal is not completely finalized because the court didn't approve it. Apparently, it's going to take a couple weeks, and I hear it's a race against the clock.
Did you get the money yet?
I hear it's a race against the clock because
Did you get the money yet?
who? No, they won't get the money until the deal is cleared. But there's a race against the clock allegedly. This is allegedly. There has to be quarterly payments for song royalties and like music royalties is coming up, like because then the quarter is coming, and all that was going to be rolled into his new contract. So if it doesn't get approved, that they just pay him once, they might have to pay him twice.
Oh.
Or pay certain parts of it twice.
Yo.
So, Lil Pump a nice finesse out here, man. Pump keep winning, man.
Money is crazy out here.
Post the contract, man. Stop the bullshit.
I'll show y'all behind the scenes.
Yeah,
man.
Ak has a line sometimes.
Will you post your contract? You won't post your contract. See,
My contract? What contract?
any contract. You contract with Complex.
Never.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't want to just put his shit out there like that. I'll describe it.
I'll describe it.
And for the little excerpts I would put, but you know what I mean? Like it shows like his mom and dad like sign it. Like I'm not.
All right, journalist Ak, I see you out here, bro.
Try, yo.
Yeah.
I have to get a black and white on that one.
CNN Act.
CNN Ak. Yo. All right, guys, that's our show. We'll see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. on Complex News.